right, so we have worksheet 6 for the free fall problems. It says your sibling drops your house keys down to you from the second floor window. Okay, so if it's dropping your house keys, this means that your starting velocity is 0. If you threw it, then it would not be 0, but you're dropping it, so it is 0. So I'm going to fill that in over here. And it's going to start at a height of 4.3 meters as shown in the image. So I'm going to have my starting height as 4.3. Now I then am at a height of 0. So that means that my ending height will be 0 meters. And it asks me two things. It says, what is the velocity of the keys when you catch them? So I'm going to figure out what is the velocity when I catch them, which is the velocity at the end here. And I want to know how much time does it take for my keys to fall. So then I'm also going to look for t. Now, the only other thing that I don't know is this acceleration thing. But we just learned that the acceleration of everything in free fall is 9.8. So if you drop anything or you throw anything, this acceleration is going to be 9.8. Now, I just have to take into account which direction is it going to accelerate. Is it accelerating up or down? Down. Okay, you drop it, it's going to speed up going down. So if I have positive as up, then I need my acceleration to be negative because it's accelerating downwards. If you wanted to say, oh, I want this to be a height of 0 and have it go to a height of 4.3 down here, then you would have a positive acceleration because then you're saying positive is down. I feel like that's more complicated. And so I'm going to always have down as negative because if I'm super consistent, I'm less likely to make mistakes. All right, so I need to now figure out which equation I want to use. So I have these three equations. I'm solving for velocity, so I need to make sure that I have velocity first. All right, well, this one doesn't have velocity, so that's not helpful. This one has ending velocity, and this one has ending velocity. Okay, then I need to figure out, okay, so starting position, I have that. Okay. Ending position, I have that. Starting velocity is 0, I have that. And acceleration, well, right now, this is looking pretty good right here because I have everything that I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this equation. And I just need to plug in the numbers that I'm given. So this v squared, I don't know, so I'm going to leave it as a v squared, equals v naught squared, that's my starting velocity. Well, that's this. So that's 0 plus 2 times my acceleration, which is negative 9.8, times my final position, which is x. Oops, sorry. X is 0. Minus my starting position, which was 4.3. And then I just need to plug this in. So I get v squared is equal to, well, I can think of this one way real quick. Let's see. Well, 0 minus 4.3 is just negative 4.3. So that's the same as this. So I get v squared then is 84.28. And then to get rid of the square, I need to square root it because the opposite of a square is a square root. So I square root both sides. And I'll get a velocity of 9.18 meters per second. All right, so for part B, it says, how much time does it take for your keys to fall? So now we're looking for something with time in it. So time I need to have, so it's this one or that one. And then I'm looking for what I have. So I have starting position, I have my ending position, I have my starting velocity, and I have acceleration. Now, which one looks nicer? Because apparently I can use the first one or the second one. You like the second one better? Yeah, there's no weird stuff. Okay, that sounds great. It also means that we don't need the quadratic equation to solve it. All right, so you got the velocity from part A already, so that was the 9.18. And so now we're just going to plug it into that second equation. So you have 9.18 is equal to your acceleration, which is still negative 9.8, times time, which is what we're trying to figure out, plus our starting velocity, which was 0, because it was not moving when you dropped it. All right, so then we just need to solve. So the plus 0 I can kind of ignore. I'm just going to go like this and just ignore it. Don't care that it's there. Because it's negative 9.8 times time, I have to do the opposite. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9.8. And so I get an answer of 0.937 seconds. Yeah, good question. Okay, so right here, this velocity is technically going down. So this is a negative here. So looking here that this ending velocity is negative because it's going down. So that makes this negative. So that'll make a negative 9.18 divided by negative 9.8. That'll give me a positive number of seconds. So that makes sense.